Learn how to flatten boards with just 2 sticks, some string, and 1 simple tool. Stick around. So you've got a board that's too big to fit on the joiner or too big to fit through a surface planer, and you're wondering, how can I flatten this? Well, you heard from the intro you just needed 3 things. So to start off, you first need a couple of sticks. No, not these type of sticks. A pair of winding sticks. So these are winding sticks. Now, essentially, any 2 flat, square boards will do the trick. But I made these, and they're going to aid me a little bit better than 2 boards of the same type. You'll notice this one, the majority is walnut, with the top strip here maple. And this one, the majority is maple, with the top strip walnut. By having the opposite colors on each of these is really going to help me out. So let me show you real quick, essentially, how winding sticks work. So let's say, for example, that I want to check how flat the top of the bench is. I would place 1 winding stick at the back and the other at the other end or towards the front. Now, if they're flat, I'm going to sight down this line here, and if they're flat, the back winding stick should be level. I shouldn't be able to see the back one. However, if one corner of the bench is a little bit higher, you'll notice that it clearly shows going across which end is high and which end is low. So now let me show you how to do this on an actual board. So this is my board or my piece of wood that I actually want to try and flatten. And this is some oak that I've had air drying for about 1.5 years. And what I'm doing here, it's a little bit too soon to be working on this. This probably needs to sit 2-3 years before I can actually use it and make it into some kind of furniture. But I'm doing this demonstration to show you how the winding sticks work. Now, boards can warp in one of 4 ways. You can have it bow, which is this direction. You can have it cup, this direction. You can have it crook, which is this direction. Or you can have it twist, which we were just demonstrating in the previous example with the winding sticks. The winding sticks in this piece here are really going to help with the twist and with any kind of cupping that's going on. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this is relatively flat. And by taking my winding stick here, and I'm going to tilt it forward, because what that's doing is causing some light to shoot down under this. So you can see I have some light poking through at both ends, but none in the middle. So that's telling me this is cupped, and I have to flatten some of that out. I'm making a few marks on it, and on this one I'm actually, So I'm going to take a little bit off of the middle and recheck it to see if that's relatively flat. And the simple tool that I'm going to use with this, well, you heard me talk about it in my top 10 tools under $100. I believe this came in at number 9, and that is my electric hand plane. Okay, so I took some off there in the middle, and I forgot to mention, before you use any power tools on a piece of wood like this that's been sitting outside for a while, you want to clean it off with a wire brush. The wire brush will get any dirt, stones, or just grit off the wood so it doesn't dull your blades. And once again, I'll take this and just... All right, this corner here looks to be high, but that brings up a question. Is this corner high or is this corner low? Now I know what you're saying. You're going, duh, Chad. Obvious, if that end is high, this has to be low. But what if I come down and look at it from this end? Now that I look at it, now that end looks high and this end looks low. So let me show you how you can find out which one it is. So what I'm going to do a couple of checks. One is I'm going to check the four corners of this and see how thick the slab is. So definitely this is the low side. The other thing that I can do to check is I will move the sticks. So I'm going to move the stick a little closer to that one. And it's getting better. It's not as high. So that is, at that point there, I'm level with the winding stick in the back. This front one is level with the one in the back. So I'll do it the other way now. I'll move this forward some. It's still showing that high. It's still showing that high. So what that's telling me is the fact that this is always staying high is confirming that this definitely is the low spot. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm just going to try and get it flat, this to there, so there's no twist. The thickness, that'll come into play on the other side. So I definitely know I have to take all this down. Whew, it's going to be a lot. So here's another tip for checking this. Now remember I said we had cupped and then we also have bow. And I told you if you had long winding sticks you could check it for bow, but here's a real simple method for checking that, and that is just some string. And I'm going to place this string here in this. And as I pull the string down, what I'm looking for is where the string first touches the surface. And I'm touching up here, and I probably have, an 1/8 to 3/16 higher down at this end. So again, definitely that end is a little bit higher. So I'm going to use the hand plane. With the hand plane, I want to work diagonally across this. If I just started going the same direction as the grain at this point, all I'm going to be doing is equally lowering this board all the way down. I'm still going to have that twist. By going across at a diagonal direction, it's going to help knock down the higher points to this, and I'll periodically have to go back with the winding sticks and check. So this is going to take me a little while. Looks good. So I've got that twist out of it, and boy, that looks good. This looks a little high right here. Yep, I can even feel it. For the most part though, I'm ready now to start, instead of working diagonal across it, now I can work it going with the grain. It's going to help get some of these little spots here that I missed. And essentially, it's going to take the whole thing down now at an even layer by going with it this direction. Boy, that's great. That's flat. I'm also going to check too to make sure I don't have too much cupping or anything going on. Real quick, I'm going to check again to see if I got the bow out. And the string seems to be touching here. So I still have maybe about a 1/16 from this point down. That would have to be planed out to get this perfectly flat. But you know what? No one's going to feel that as they touch it. No one's going to feel that 1/16 difference. Now I will say, if you notice, right here I still have a low spot. And it's tempting to take that hand plane and keep planing this until that's gone, but you can't do that because then this whole section is going to be low from there. To get this out, I have to keep working even amounts all the way across until it's all down. And for me, I've decided not to do that because, see, I've got this check going here. I just don't like this crack in this check. So I'm probably going to cut this off anyways and eliminate that. Okay, so now with this flat, here's where we would proceed with it. At this point, I would turn it over. All right, I think this was the corner that was the thinnest, and I have 2 13/16. 2 13/16. Okay, so I definitely know that this is thinner than the other end. So I'll take a marking gauge and I'll set it to what the thickness of this is. Then down here on this end, and I'd flip this around, and I would mark it, and I have to work that much material down so it's the same thickness, and doing the same procedures with the winding sticks, get any cupping, bowing, twisting out of there, and then I will have an equally thick, flat board to make a table with. And so there you are. That is how I flatten large boards with winding sticks, string, and the electric hand plane. Now, if you're interested in seeing how I made my winding sticks, I will have a video out for the newsletter subscriber members only. So if you've already signed up for it, the next newsletter will be out March 5th, and you'll have access to not only that video, but a bunch of other articles in it. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, I encourage you to do so, but you have to do it before March 5th at noon, because that is when the newsletter gets automatically released. If you sign up after that date, you will miss out. So sign up at the link below in the description. As always, if you have any woodworking questions, feel free to write me at woodshoppingtime@gmail.com. My whole goal is to make you a better woodworker. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on dancing.